So, does this remake of a remake hold up? Hey, I'm Amy, and welcome back, and Merry Christmas Eve. I think that's when this is going to be going up. I can't believe it's Christmas Eve. I can't believe it's almost the end of 2019, but I got some big stuff planned for 2020, and that's not what we're talking about in this video. Today we're talking about the 2019 Black Christmas remake of a remake in 2006, and the original was in 1974. If you did not see my videos for those two, you can either find them linked up there or in the description, because I did a review of both the 1974 one and the 2006 one, with the 2006 one having a lot of my predictions for this movie, which really, honestly, I felt like the trailer gave away everything, and slight spoilers, it did, but honestly, this movie isn't really... I mean, the suspense of it is what makes it a movie and makes it a horror movie, a thriller movie. Really, it's still kind of fun knowing what is going to happen going into it, if that makes any sense at all. It's kind of like, and I talked about this in my 2006 review when I was talking about my predictions for this movie. When I watched the trailer for the Happy Death Day, which is also a Blumhouse movie, I knew who the killer was right away from the trailer, and I was almost refusing to see it because of that, but I saw it and I really liked it, so that's what I had hoped would happen for this one. I had fun. There's a lot of messages within the film that I really enjoyed, but I think knowing kind of what was going to happen and who the killer was, just kind of, that's not the sole thing that made me not like the movie as much, but it was one of the things that made me not like the movie as much, I guess. One of the things that really brought the film down for me, besides the fact that I knew what was going to happen, is the dialogue. It is fairly clunky. They always play the pronoun game. If you have ever watched a CinemaSins video, they always talk about playing the pronoun game. He did this or she did that. And they did that a lot for the first third of the movie, almost the first two. Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily go into the second third of the movie. It's a lot of the laying the groundwork type dialogue at the beginning of the film that really slows it down for me and makes it feel a lot more clunky than it should be, because there's a lot of things where they're talking about this happened and that happened, and everything is kind of shrouded in mystery, really to further the plot, develop the plot a little bit more, but also makes you guess what is being implied, which it's not that hard to do. They kind of shove it in your face until they have this big reveal later on. It really just makes it harder to connect with the characters and with the story when you're trying to figure out what is going on. But there is one thing that I absolutely loved, but at one point kind of really hated about this film, is it's a very pro-female message and feeling throughout. It is a Black Christmas movie, which means it has a lot of the same things but not the same characteristics, and it is set in a sorority, which is the hallmark of a Black Christmas movie. So because of that, because there were going to be so many female characters, they definitely went heavy on the feminism and female leaning messages. There are some points where it's kind of, okay, I get that, and I hear you, I understand, and I enjoy your message. I receive the message. It is something that I want to take with me. But there's a couple of times where it's very, very heavy-handed and just was like almost cringe. One of the characters is this very female activist, feminist. That's all she talks about. That's her only character trait, really. As much as I love that, I wish that they had given her some other things to do. I believe this was written as well as directed by two females. I know for sure it was directed by a female. I don't remember who wrote it. They did do a great job as a female director and directing these, but I feel like all of the characters are very one-faceted, especially the females, so you don't get a lot more of character development for them other than like this one, she's the final girl. There's another who is the feminist. There's another one who is the girl with the boyfriend. You don't get to spend enough time with the characters to really get to know them outside of that perspective of them. I wish that they had maybe gone a little bit more deeper into each character's personality. That's kind of how the other Black Christmas movies were. There was one very very cringy moment at the beginning of the film where they make kind of a period joke, but at the same time it wasn't really a joke. That does lead into something later on in the film. You kind of forget about that joke after a while because it is kind of cringy and dumb and you just want to push it out of your mind. They bring it back up later on and it's just, okay, cool, that was a thing that happened, but in the moment I was cringing so hard. But I really did love the very female forward, female centric message throughout, because in the end, the girls really do rally together and, spoilers, you see it in the trailer, take down the literal bad guys. And now I want to talk a little bit about the similarities between this version of Black Christmas and the original 1974 one and the 2006 remake. I'll try to do it as much as I can without getting into some spoilery kind of stuff, mostly for this movie, not necessarily for the other two. This one is the least Black Christmassy. That doesn't really make sense because the original Black Christmas is the Black Christmas and then the remake is kind of along the same lines. It's just taken up. Like when you see like Halloween and you see the real Halloween, you see John Carpenter's Halloween, but then you go see Rob Zombie's Halloween. Same with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The remakes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then Rob Zombie's Halloween are like turned up to an 11. They're in your face, gore and sex and violence. It's just all right there. That's kind of, but not, well, I guess that's really very much what the 2006 remake of Black Christmas was, because that is around the time when a lot of those horror movie remakes were coming out and they were very, very popular. That one I kind of forgive. This one is definitely a horror slasher movie of its time. It definitely has a feel of a lot of the slasher movies I have seen recently, including not necessarily Ready or Not, but Hellfest. And what are some of the other ones? Hellfest is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I really enjoyed Hellfest, but this one I feel like lacked a lot of stuff, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm trying to talk about the similarities. Honestly, there was no similarities except for the fact that it is a sorority. It's got sorority girls. There is a killer killing them in their sorority. They do a lot of homages and callbacks to the original movie as well as to the remake, especially with the iconic bag over the head kill. It's a good kill. It's probably one of my favorite slasher movie kills, I think. It is very unexpected and it hurts to watch, especially as someone who's very claustrophobic. They also leave in a lot of things that you think could lend to an homage, but don't quite get there. They maybe are in a deleted scene somewhere, but they lay the groundwork for homages that don't quite get there. But then they are brought back up in a different way later on. And there's a twist on especially the plastic bag death scene that I really enjoyed. A lot of the kills were homages to the original, but everything else in this film has nothing to do with either the original or remake of Black Christmas. So overall, my rewatch score for this is probably a Netflix. I don't know how often I would rewatch it. I don't think I would buy it right away. I would probably buy it when it's in the $5 bin and add it to my slasher movie collection because I do love a good slasher movie. This is not a great slasher movie, but it is an interesting one, and I already have the first Black Christmas. I will be getting the other Black Christmas probably whenever I find it in a $5 bin as well, because it's just fun to have a movie like that to, I don't know, just watch when you want to get scared around Christmas. I don't know. But anyways, if you have seen Black Christmas, the 2019 one, or the first original 1974 or the 2006 remake, let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. Mine is most definitely the 1974 one. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you. Whoever you are, let me know here in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking these movies, TV shows, filmmaking, mystery, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.